A man can see a woman across the street and he'll notice her walk, her curves, her breast, her butt, her face, and he's attracted to her before he even hears her voice. It's almost like looks are the door, and if the door doesn't open, he doesn't walk through. Have you ever noticed, and I know that I have over the years, several times over the years, and kind of made me wonder how, that you'll see a beautiful woman, the kind of woman that will walk into the room and instantly heads will turn. And she's holding the hand of a guy that looks, well, I guess I could say that life has been hard on him. He may be overweight, he may be short, he may be balding, he may be awkward looking, or just plain ordinary. But yet she don't seem like she's embarrassed by it. She's laughing at his jokes. She seems like that she's glowing. She's clinging on his arm. She's kissing him. She's touching him. And when you see this, you kind of ask yourself, how did that happen? So now let's flip the script on that image. How often have you seen a handsome man, a handsome, successful man walking with an unattractive woman in that same manner? You hardly ever do. It's rare. And when you do, people almost immediately assume that there's some hidden reason behind it. Maybe she's rich or he got some other type of options going on. That's because people struggle to believe that a man would willingly choose a woman who doesn't check the beauty box. And that's where the imbalance sits. Women can fall in love with an unattractive man and no one really questions it too hard. But men rarely fall for an unattractive woman. But when they do, we don't let them forget it. So I wonder, why does this happen? Well, the answer isn't as simple as men are shallow. I kind of think that it goes a lot deeper than that. It's about wiring, it's about culture, it's about biology and the stories that we are all told about love. So let's think about it for a minute. Men are visual creatures, right? Right. Attraction for us usually starts with sight. A man can see a woman across the street and he'll notice her walk, her curves, her breast, her butt, her face, and he's attracted to her before he even hears her voice. It's almost like looks are the door, and if the door doesn't open, he doesn't walk through. Now, he may enjoy her personality later, he may respect her character later, but without him being physically attracted to her, it's rare that relationship would turn into a romantic one. But for women, on the other hand, it's a little bit different. Yes, look does matter to a woman, but looks aren't the only door. Women can feel attracted to a man through his intelligence, through his confidence, through his charm, through his humor, through the way that he makes her feel. If a man can capture a woman's emotion, she can start to see him as being attractive, even if by society standards, he isn't. And that's why a lot of women, and I say a lot of women, not all of them, but a lot of women can look past a man's crooked teeth, his rough skin, his lack of height, and really fall deeply in love with him, because she's not loving the surface of him. She's loving the experience of him. Now, you've heard me say this before, and you heard me say this in several different ways, that from a young age, that we as men are told that our value isn't in the way that we look. A man can be plain. He can even be ugly. But if he's successful, funny, ambitious, and somewhat powerful, society still calls him valuable. A man can be overlooked by women when he was in high school. But when he builds his confidence, his success years later, suddenly he becomes attractive to those very ones that overlooked him when he was in high school. Because his worth comes from what he does, not from how he looks. But women, on the other hand, are told just the opposite. From the fairy tales that they've told over their lifetimes, through the magazines that they read over the years, even through social media today, the message is clear that your beauty is your asset. And they are somewhat warned to be attractive, stay attractive, or you'll be overlooked. So when a woman isn't conventionally beautiful, she rarely gets the benefit of the doubt. Her other qualities that she have, like her kindness, her loyalty, her intelligence, don't get the same stage time, because men are less likely to notice them without physical attraction first. And that's why the whole dynamics of attraction feels unfair. Ugly men have multiple resources that they can trade in. His humor, his money, his status, his charisma, his drive. But an ugly woman is expected to compete on beauty alone. And here's another thing to consider on this subject. That when an unattractive man is in a relationship, it's often because that he has sharpened his other tools. He has become more funnier. He has become more confident. He has become more ambitious. Ugly men learn to adapt and compensate. And in doing so, they often become more interesting than men who get by on looks alone. But unattractive women aren't taught the same lesson. Society doesn't push them to build confidence, to build humor, to build charisma in the same way because it tells them to just be pretty. So when they can't compete in beauty, a lot of times they're overlooked. Even if they have all of the other things to offer, if they don't have the physical attraction, then a lot of times they're not given the time of day. But you know that when a woman dates an unattractive man, people are going to talk. But in the conversations, people usually will end up saying that, well, maybe he's doing something right. Maybe he's treating her right. Maybe he's taking care of her right. It seems like that there is an acceptance when a beautiful woman is dating an unattractive man. But when a man dates an unattractive woman, people start whispering, they start judging, they start wondering why he couldn't have done any better than that. It's as if a man is being punished for loving a woman outside of her physical appearance. And it's because of that pressure that many men won't even consider dating an unattractive woman because they don't want to be judged. If she dates an unattractive man, a lot of times she's going to be praised for seeing past the looks. But if a man do the same thing, he's ridiculed. There is a strong double standard there. So where does that lead us? It leaves us with an uncomfortable truth that a lot of people don't want to admit, that women are freer to love beyond looks than men are. Women can fall in love with a man based on how he makes her feel, even if he's unattractive. Men, for the most part, can escape their visual wiring. If she's not attractive, the door never opens. That's not cruelty. That's the truth. But some men do fall in love with women who are not conventionally beautiful. It does happen. It's rare, but it does happen. Sometimes the attraction is sparked by him being familiar with her. Maybe it's by the way that she stands by him. Maybe it's by the way that she cares for him or by the way that she stands by him during his hard times. Now, it's rare, but it does happen because for most men, attraction is the starting point. And for a lot of women, attraction is the destination. Because how many women have you known who have admitted that their partner had to grow on them? She didn't feel it at first, but it grew on her as he proved himself. So that is why most women can fall in love with an unattractive man, but men rarely fall in love with an unattractive woman. Not because men are heartless and women are saints, but because the rule of attraction are written differently in each of us. Women are allowed more doors to walk through, whereas men usually only walk through one, and that is physical appearance.